Hey, it's Pete from 21st Century Prepper. Tonight, Skip is with me,
Good evening.
like usual.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think it's ever going to be.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to ever have anybody else with us. There's a possibility I might do one myself, but whatever. We're just going to do a real quick update on the COVID-19 pandemic that's going on right now.
It sucks.
We're pretty much not even going to talk numbers because it's just everywhere now.
Yeah.
We have 3 in my county, and we're in rural Minnesota, so it's just everywhere.
Yeah, we were designated a hotspot now by the president, so I'm not excited about that fucking title.
Some still unprecedented stuff going on. It's never happened
ever
in our lifetimes. There was closings and stuff back during the Spanish flu, but I don't know the extensiveness of. I don't know if it was whole states or even whole chunks of the country at the time. It may have been cities and whatever, but it's kind of crazy. The Minnesota governor just called school for the year. Students won't be going back to the buildings. They're still doing distance learning, which I foresee catching on completely. And no more snow days. You'll just not go to school and you'll just hop on the computer, which is fine. But I've talked to a couple of teachers, and they're like, "Yeah, we've been trying to get online learning for years for snow days, so that they could call them easier." And they keep saying the district would hem and haw about it and wouldn't want to do it. Well, now they have no excuse because they've got it in place now. And I foresee school in the future as being radically different than what it's been for the last 200 years, whatever here, 150 years, whatever organized schooling has been. I foresee them not going, like Mondays and Fridays you just do it online, and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday you go to the building. Maybe it would cut costs for the districts because you wouldn't have to feed them on those days. You could
power, gasoline for the buses, everything.
Yeah, cleaning. The janitors wouldn't have to be there, 6 days a week because there's sports events and all that kind of crap, cleaning and all that. So teacher salaries would still remain the same probably because they're still teaching.
Right.
I've seen some of my daughter's videos that her teachers send out, and they're standing right in front of their whiteboard or their smart board, which they have here. They have the smart boards here. Just they're lecturing like they're got a class full of students. So it's pretty cool. But also, our lockdown has continued until May. I think it's May 1st or May 4th.
Yeah, I think ours is May 1st right now.
So,
I don't
stay
see
at home
being lifted. I don't know about yours, but I don't see ours being lifted on May 1st.
According to that one website we've been looking at for the last couple of days, that peak, statistically we're supposed to hit our peak. I think it was April 28th, 26th, 28th, something like. Yeah, that's the peak.
Right.
3 weeks
after the peak, right?
Maybe mid-May.
Wouldn't you think 3 weeks or so after the peak?
Maybe it would suck for here because we have a national holiday or a state holiday in the first part of May, and that's opening fishing.
Right.
And that would royally suck.
My car show.
A lot of people.
The largest car show on the East Coast, which is Cruising Ocean City, threw in the towel today, and that's May 20th.
You saw that he sent that
that fucking
announcement that they.
Yeah, that hurt. That really hurt.
Yeah.
Well, the only reason I say that is because if you look at like New York and California, they're not to their peak yet. They're still cruising right along, and I don't see them opening up anytime soon. I can't see it.
Yeah, it's going to be. It keeps getting pushed back farther and farther and farther. Like a month ago, we were talking, a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Well, it's been not more than a couple weeks. It's been a couple weeks, and we still haven't hit the peak. So I'd see this going in what?
I told her July.
August?
I told her the other day. She asked me, and I said, "You don't want to hear my answer." And she said, "What do you think?" And I said, "I think it's going to be July."
Yeah, it's gonna suck.
It already sucks. I'm going to be straight.
Well,
It sucks. I'm a really active person. I'm not the person to sit around and watch TV. And like, I live in the middle of the country. And when I say the middle of the country, I mean I literally the middle of the country. And I am bored out of my fucking skull. I'm also hurt. So like, everybody's like, "Oh, well, go plant your garden." Well, I can't. I have one arm that's pretty useless right now. So that makes it even worse. And
yeah.
I'm bored out of my fucking skull.
We are still open for business, although we're down like to about a quarter of what normally we do.
Right.
So it's pretty boring, but it's still, it's still fucked up. And my wife's other business isn't dried up completely, but it's down easily 75-80%.
Right.
And then some of that's her choosing. She has decided not. She does cakes and stuff like that, and she's decided, well, it kind of doesn't make sense for me to make cakes for people
to gather together
when we're supposed to be not getting together in groups. So I'm gonna not do them. But there was already some that were pre-ordered,
right.
And before she made the decision, and so she's done a few. She's got, I think, 4 orders this week, and usually she has a dozen. So over a span of a week. But it's quite crazy. I went out today. I traveled 24 miles and went to a Walmart. The Walmart here, I sent you guys a message earlier. The entryway, neither of them were blocked off, so you could go in either door.
No.
There was an expandable fence in there.
Mm-hmm.
So the outdoor was out. The inside was separated from the outside.
Yeah.
But which doesn't make any sense because the electric plug-in ones are over on the outside part, right. And you can come in and you need to go to the other side of the room, the other side of the vestibule or whatever you would call it, to get the electric cart, but or the wheelchair that's there. And the fence wasn't connected on either end, so you could walk around it anyway. So, but there was no one manning the door other than the greeter, like normal. And they weren't stopping groups of people. I saw groups of 2 and 3 shoppers for one cart. I saw kids, which, the big rumor was no one under the age of 16 and all that kind of stuff. None of the areas of the store were blocked off.
Right.
There was no markings on the floor directing traffic a certain way. So I'm horrible. I worked retail for 17 years. I can find shit wherever it is in the store because I know where it's supposed to be and where the idea of where it's supposed to be. But I am horrible with my list. So I meander. I put my list on my phone.
Well,
so I'm looking at my phone constantly. I bet you the security people wonder what the hell I'm doing because I'm constantly reaching in my pocket. And they're like, what's he stuck? No, it's just his damn phone. He just took his phone out again and stuck it back in his pocket. I meander around the store and go, oh shit, I forgot laundry detergents. And I go back to the laundry detergent and it's like, oh shit, I forgot bread. So then I gotta go up to the bread section. And then they just remodeled the store, so then the stuff is not where it used to be anyway.
Right.
But so now I bet you I went back and forth over the food section 4 times today.
Well, see, my Walmart experience was
shit.
like totally different than yours because we went there Saturday and it was like there was shopping carts as a barricade in front of the door with they went to the door also. So you came in on the right side of the doors, okay? Mm-hmm. And then the left side, the shopping cart barrier made you go one way and, so you couldn't come close to people. And as soon as you walked in the door, there was a greeter person there. And there was a guy that was passing out carts after he just wiped it down. He literally just wiped the handles down. And the lady was clear to say that these are freshly sanitized carts. And if you want, there's a paper towel to wipe off the wet. And you go inside, and somebody reminded us to keep 6 foot distance from all other customers. And then the produce aisle, the produce section, when you first walk in, was like a fucking free for all. But after that, with the first couple frozen cases, there was the yellow thingies on the floor. And people were seriously taking that shit seriously, too. And there was probably 80% of the people were wearing face masks, either, homemade types or bandanas or something.
Yeah, see, I would guesstimate maybe 15%,
right.
maybe 20% high end were wearing masks. And I didn't see anybody wear gloves.
Well, see, they just
including employees. I saw no one wearing gloves.
I'm sorry I didn't pay attention to the employees, but the employees were getting on my freaking nerves because I guess they had all the online orders and they had these big carts, not a shopping cart, but this 4-tier or 5-tier cart right in the middle of the aisle, and you're trying to squeeze by them and they're standing in the middle of the aisle and you're like, hello, social distancing, get the fuck away from me, you know what I mean? And my other half, God love her, she will be the first one to say those exact words when somebody gets too close to her right now. So, there's been some touch and go moments a couple times. But it was I saw that Giant Foods and over toward Baltimore, they've put sneeze guards up for all the cashiers.
Yeah, they're doing that here in the groceries. I went through self checkout because
same here.
I always do self checkout because I used to cashier, and I could walk in right now and probably beat every Walmart cashier that I have, and I could probably flirt with your girlfriend and wife at the same time. But so I did not notice if they had sneeze guards up in the regular, because right now they only have 4 registers that
right.
people.
Yeah.
All the rest have been transformed over to self checkouts. But I didn't notice if they had, but they have sneeze guards up here in our grocery stores in town. They put them up recently.
Right. I know the post office here does also. And they handed me a wipe because I had to use a credit card machine, and they asked me to wipe the credit card machine after where I touched the buttons. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, we haven't been doing that.
Well,
my kid, my son works at one grocery store, and it's optional. They have masks for the employees.
That's good.
And then they also or a face guard, optional that they wear them. He doesn't, but yeah, at least they've got them for the employees if they want to wear them. I think the sneeze guards, it sounds good on paper, but
right
in practice, it's a joke. Cause
I think it's just to make everybody feel a little better about the situation,
Yeah, but then the cashier, if you got 4 cash registers in a row, between the cashier and the customer standing in the register next to her, there's nothing
right.
there.
Right.
So maybe your person that you're ringing up isn't going to sneeze on you, but the guy next to you is going to give it to you because he's standing right next to you. It's a nice gesture, but I think in all practicality,
yeah. Yeah.
What am I trying to say? Too
practical
or even going to help. So,
what's taking you most by surprise with this shit?
That I've gained 6 pounds.
My boredom is what's surprised me the most.
Yeah, the boredom hasn't set in for me yet, just because we are still operating our business, and we are dealing with that. It's just, and we've said it before in other updates, we never expected it to be like this.
No.
Right? It's like, this is totally fucked up. we expected to go from, Leave It to Beaver to Road Warrior, right?
Yeah, right. Fucking
that's
Walking Dead.
We jump from one to the next, and right now we're sitting at like Roseanne.
Oh God, there was this. I shared it on my Facebook wall the other day. It said, "You've had the apocalypse on easy setting. You're not ready for zombies or aliens."
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, it's really. My wife and I sit there and it just, we both look at each other like this is totally bizarre. Because it is. I mean, you can still. We went out and got food on. We're trying to help, the
some
community,
locals.
right?
Yeah, we're trying to do the same.
Yeah. So we decided once a week we're going to get food from a different restaurant. So this past Saturday we went and got food from 2 different restaurants because 2 of us wanted Chinese and 2 of us didn't want Chinese. So we went to one restaurant and got stuff there, and then we went to the Chinese restaurant and picked up Chinese. The week before, we went to a barbecue. It's actually a food truck, but they have they process their own. It's a farm, and they have a food truck, so they process their own stuff, and we got some of their barbecue stuff that they sell in the food truck. This week and the weekend before that, we got pizza from one of the local lake joints, which are going to be completely hurting when this.
Yeah, that's Ocean City.
This thing doesn't get going. Right now it's still
off season
early,
yeah.
But it's people would be coming up here now to clean up their cabins.
Yeah.
I live in Lake Country for people who are new to the. In my county alone in Minnesota, we have 1,000 lakes.
Oh shit!
It's the most lakes in any county in the country, and we're part of our county doesn't have very many lakes. So just imagine if it was, we would have even more. Counties between I'm 70, 80 miles from Fargo. Between us and Fargo, there's even more lakes. I mean, there's a shit ton of lakes. Our elementary school is part of the lakes. That's because that's where we are.
Right.
This is it. Now our economy right now. We have food processors in town. We have a potato place, and we have a candy place. And we have a dog food manufacturer, and we have a cheese place, and we have a Jennie-O turkey joint, and we have an egg processing place where they bring in truckloads of eggs, and then they crack them and liquefy them and make the mix, and then they ship it out in bulk tanks. Right? I just found that out. I've lived here 8 years, and I just found that out like 6 months ago. What is that joint over there? Oh, that's the eggplant. Okay. So we're a heavy manufacturer area, but if we don't have a tourist season this year,
we're done here.
Yeah, and you're even worse out there.
I'm done.
Even though you have all that you have the chicken stuff around you. If you don't have the tourist season, you guys are fucked.
Yeah, we're really
and
fucked.
If we don't have our tourist season, our town is 3,500 people. Official population. During the day, it goes up to like 4,000, 4,200 because people from other towns around the area and also people around the country come into town to work. But in the summer, it's about 7,000.
Well, I'll put into perspective here. There's an event called Springfest at Ocean City, Maryland. Kid Rock was the fucking headline performer this year, and Blues Traveler, and some seriously big people. Cruising Ocean City brings in over 20,000 hot rods.
Oh, jeez.
20,000. Now you think about, you got your girlfriend, your 1.5 kids, and the people that are there without hot rods to view the hot rods, how much money that is. I mean, I read someplace that Vegas lost one Vegas casino, and I don't remember which one it is, has already lost $6 billion.
Oh, damn.
I mean,
yeah, this is
God.
It's a crazy. And it's not like we're, again, going back to it's not like it's doom and gloom and cities are on fire and this prepper thing that this fantasy shit hits the fan thing. We've just been shut down, and everybody's sitting at home. When I went to Walmart today, I left and went down to Main Street and drove up because Main Street's the old highway through town. It's now no longer a highway. Not a car on Main Street, not a car, and it's like a Sunday afternoon at like 5.
Yeah.
But it was a Friday afternoon at 12:30. It was bizarre. It's just. It's just crazy.
I've been hearing a lot of, and I've seen it firsthand myself, a lot of people aren't listening right now. But some of it's really fucking stupid. Like here, you can't even take your own, if you live on on the water, and you own a boat, and you're not allowed to go out in your boat.
I had a friend in Nova Scotia saying that they can't go fishing.
Yep, can't go fishing here.
Can't go fishing.
Yep, on your own property.
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
Now, I got to be honest with you. I'm all about not having people dying, and I know that people aren't listening, and they needed to lock this down. But the red-blooded American in me is really getting pissed off at some of this shit. You know what I mean?
Well, that thing I sent you the other day, the 3 circles with me in the middle.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like I can't even remember what the hell it was now. Something about people being stupid and not
listening. Yeah,
not listening, and then over here it is. I just looked it up on my phone. People taking COVID-19 seriously is one circle, and then people worried about expansion of authoritative government policies in another circle, and then people very concerned about impending economic devastation in another circle.
Yeah.
And then me right in the middle, where they all intersect. Doesn't say anything about people being dickheads.
Yeah.
I suppose that wouldn't be in that circle. But yeah, so you can be concerned about giving up too much power or too much crap to you. The government, but
I can't even go in the state of Delaware right now. That's like 6 minutes to my north, and I cannot go into the state of Delaware right now.
Yeah, that's crazy. They're asking Minnesotans not to come into North Dakota.
Yeah.
But they're just asking. It's not official. Because North Dakota doesn't have a stay-at-home law, or stay-at-home thing.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So, it's crazy. Economically, we aren't doing too bad.
We're not us, but this country's in deep shit. It really is.
Yeah.
I don't know how we don't have, and I don't know, recession, depression, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But I don't see how people are going to bounce back from this. They've put like a hold on mortgages and stuff like that. My governor made it so you can't be foreclosed upon, and any mortgage company has to give you a forbearance during this. But they're saying that, like, the way it's worded, at the end of this thing and it's lifted, you have like 30 days you have to pay it.
Yeah.
So,
and they're still charging people. They're still charging you interest.
Not here. They're not here. That's
they're not charging you interest.
That stopped. Yeah, that all stopped. And,
okay.
Like your car can't be repoed, and if you can't make the payments, they can't do anything about it. They have to delay it until after all this is over. But the week this is over, you're gonna have your fucking mortgage company calling you, and your car payment due, and your electric payment due, and you're gonna have your normal pay of X amount of dollars a week.
Yep. So I've said it before in another. If you have the money, if you're still working,
pay the shit. Yeah.
Pay your shit. Just because they've said, oh, you don't have to pay or whatever, pay your shit anyway. Because one thing, we need to keep the economy going. So these companies still need to have some kind of influx of money.
Sure. Yeah.
So if you can pay your shit. At least part of it.
Yeah, even if you make a half payment or something like that, that'll help take the freaking beat off of it.
Yep. So you still, if you're still working or still drawing a salary or whatever, pay it. So just, you signed up for it. Pay it.
Who would have ever thought, man? I keep asking myself, who in their freaking right mind could have imagined, sitting at home day in and day out waiting for some fucking virus to die?
Yeah, and 1 minute you're like, fuck it, let's just get it over with.
Yeah.
The next minute you're like, no, we can't.
Yeah.
Because then you read, I have a family member who's a family member of theirs on the other side has it and is not going to make it. They're an elderly person. Their children had to come individually to the window and say goodbye through the window.
Right.
And it's like, that's fucked up.
That is fucked up.
And they had to individually. They had to go. They couldn't even go together and do it. They had to come in and say goodbye, and then walk away. And then the next one come in and say goodbye and walk away. And then one of them has another family member over in the same situation. So they're losing two.
Right.
And had to do the same thing. in the same hospital. And had to, it's a fucked up.
My mother lives over in Baltimore City, and just when it's really started first hitting over there, she said that there was this woman walking down the street, and my mom was a nurse for, I'm going to say 35 years, so she's pretty much seen her, dealt with everything. And she said to me, I've never heard a cough like that. Huh. When we went to Walmart the other day, and as I'm putting groceries in the back of the car, and all of a sudden I heard this guy get out of the fucking vehicle behind me, and I'd never heard a cough like that. It is very, very unmistakable. And now I know what my mom was talking about, and I can see why that would be hell on an older person. I really can. If that was really what it was, that was a. If you took somebody that smoked for 60 years, like 6 packs a day, I don't think it would be a cough like that. It was bad. It was bad. So, I don't know.
No, yeah, it's, and then
it's just
my wife has a family member who works in a nursing home, and the people are confused and they don't know what's going on.
Right. Yeah.
And they have to wear masks now, and they don't understand why, and their family members aren't coming to see them.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
they don't know why, and yeah, it's just screwy. It's a friend from high school. His mother just passed away. He can't come back for the funeral.
Oh
no. Because he lives in California, and his mother lived here in Minnesota, and he can't come back.
I saw that little girl that started all the CBD THC stuff for seizures. Her name's Charlotte. She passed away. She was the one that had like 30 seizures.
Oh yeah. I saw that yesterday.
That's pretty bad. That's pretty rough.
Actually, my wife is going to a funeral tomorrow. Graveside, can't get out of the cars.
Yeah.
So they're just gonna like line up the cars, and I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't. How do you have a drive-up funeral?
I think I'd ask to be cremated. You know, if that happened, I'd cremate. You know, like when my father died, if he would have died during this, I'd have had him cremated. That way, I could have a real legit service after. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Or
it's fucking terrible.
Rent out a storage locker, freezer, or something. I don't know.
God,
who was it that was in a freezer for like 20 years? Kate Smith. They fought over her body, and she was in a morgue for like 25 or 30 years or something like that.
This is an eye-opening thing for me. Maryland just took all ice skating rinks and have designated them as morgues.
Oh, jeez.
Think about that, man. That's fucking scary.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
They've mandated in D.C. and at least 2 of the counties in my state now, and this is on a county-by-county basis, not a state basis yet, but they've mandated face masks if you leave the house.
Yeah, one of our other admins was saying his city is now
face mask.
Leave the house, you got to have a face mask.
Yeah.
So
mine is not that way yet, but I don't see it be that long before it. Which is funny to me, because remember all them people telling us we didn't need face masks and give them to the fucking doctors and give them to the nurses, and people gave all their shit away, and now they're telling you can get fined if you don't go outside with one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta love that.
And I was one of those. Don't have to wear a mask if you're healthy.
Yeah.
Because that was a guideline from the CDC. Wearing a mask for a healthy person isn't going to help when you just clean. You know, unless you get obviously if you get coughed on, it's going to be one thing. But you know,
somebody coughs on me there, I'm going to jail at this point.
Yeah.
That'll happen.
So yeah, it's a crazy time. It's never seen anything like it. I mentioned it to you yesterday. We are both writing our will.
Yeah.
I have a very non-official, would not stand up in court if anybody wanted to contest it. And I'm talking my neighbor could contest it. Right? But we need to, you know, we're homeowners, and my wife has minor children, and we should have had one anyway. But this is kind of, you know.
I'm guilty.
Yeah. we got to get this done, over with and done, and we just got to do it. So if you don't have a will, granted, and I'm not just talking about because of this. If you don't have a will, write something up, check with your state about the rules that you need and how to get it. Some states you can have it notarized. Other states you just need 3 witnesses. And they don't even have to witness you sign it. At least in Minnesota, they have to sign it within a reasonable amount of time of you signing it.
Right.
So you don't have to have 3 people standing there while you sign it and then have them sign it. You can, like, Bob the mailman's coming by. Hey, Bob, can you sign my? Because it can't be anybody can sign it as a witness that's in it.
Right.
So, or potentially will receive something in it. You can't have like your parents do it because conceivably they could end up getting some of your stuff because let's say you get taken out in a car accident and so do your kids. So then your stuff is going to go to your parents most likely.
Yeah.
So you can't. You have to have unconnected people sign it, but it varies by state. So if you don't have a will, think about it. It's just something you should have because we live in a modern world,
Right? Yeah.
and we have stuff. You don't want to go to your ex-wife, do you?
No, that's the
Your
problem.
ex-husband.
That was
Fuck
what
no.
was brought up here is if I fucking died tomorrow, my ex gets everything because of my kids, and I was like, yeah, that's not going to happen. We need a will.
Yeah. So
that's a real thing.
looking at that, and you don't need a lawyer for most stuff. Obviously, if you have lots of things, lots of property, lots of whatever, you may need to consult a lawyer, but you technically don't need a lawyer for most basic wills. It's when you have lots of crap. And I'm not talking like a record collection. I'm talking
The contents
annuities
of your home.
and
Bank accounts,
property and all that kind of jazz. So
vehicles, bank accounts.
Yep.
Because they need that letter of administration before they can do anything with any of it.
Yeah. Also, if you have children, you can assign a guardian in your will for your children. You should have 2 or 3, because maybe the first guardian says screw you, or maybe the first guardian goes out with you. So have 2 or 3 and double check with them first to make sure they'd be willing to take your children. What did my buddy call them the other day? It's the COVID-19. It's the meme. The guy spraying the kid. Something about your crotch.
Not ringing a bell.
I can't remember what it is. I think I saved it. Here, I'll look it up on my phone again. I have so many memes on my phone. Most of them are Baby Yoda.
I like the fucking cat with Karen.
Oh, yeah.
He's my favorite.
No, I don't have it.
There's been some really good ones about COVID-19 now. Some really good ones.
Oh, I do have it.
I'm going to post that fucking It's Quarantine Day again meme every day until this is over with Bill Murray from Groundhog Day. I'm doing it every day.
Oh, yeah.
You watch, I'm going to do it every day.
COVID tip number 34, carry mace when other people's crotch fruit breaks the 6-foot rule. And it shows a guy spraying a kid. Crotch fruit. Your children are crotch fruit. So.
Oh my God.
Okay, what else? What other weird, bizarre crap? It's just going to be bizarre. When are they going to call Major League Baseball for this season?
I don't know. I think they'll probably hold out as long as they can. I mean,
Think they're going to have like a 50-game season?
Yeah, I mean, why not? If they can pack
25 doubleheaders?
Yeah, if they can pack the stands for even 10 games, that pays something to the owners' pockets. You know what I mean?
I guess.
And I mean, they're obligated with these TV stations. That's why you get the reruns, because they still have the TV station is still required to play that because they were contracted. You know what I mean? That's why we're seeing basketball games from fucking 15 years ago.
I want them from the late 70s when the shorts were short and the socks were so long. God, holy cow, dudes. Didn't anybody tell you?
It'd be curious to see what happens with summer camp for football and all too. I mean,
oh yeah,
you know,
I mean, yeah, college football, college, any of it. I can't imagine trying to recruit
No.
anybody right now. How are you gonna do it? I mean, we got a baseball player here in town who's very good, and well, quite a few, but he's in my son's class, and I know him personally. How is he? He's got a chance to be recruited by a couple major colleges, and how are they going to verify that he's going to be good for them if there's no? They're going to come and watch him throw some pitches.
I feel bad for the kids graduating this year that might not be able to graduate on stage. You know, they worked their whole freaking school career for that moment, and they ain't getting it.
There's some talk. Prom's been canceled, obviously, and there's some talk about trying to rent out some big building in town so they can still have their prom. It's like, but it's.
How are you going to do that when you're not supposed to go?
They're going to have it supposedly they're going to have it June or July.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, just I don't know why they have to just use the school. Why you have to rent out another building? Sadly, my son had just asked a girl to prom, and 2 days later they called school.
Oh man! Did she say yes?
She said she had to check with her parents.
Okay.
It was okay.
Well, that's not a no.
No, it's not a no. There's a side story to it. She kind of hinted that she wanted him to ask her. So,
nice.
Yeah. But yeah, it's changing life as we know it. It's going to be quite bizarre. I don't think we're ever going to be back to normal.
Yeah,
it's going to be the new normal.
Now they're saying that it could be a resurgence of it next fall, and we need the vaccine to get rid of this little bastard.
And then hopefully it doesn't mutate by that time.
Right. I think it's already said it's mutated 26 times now, but there's 26 variations of the COVID-19 or something. Is from what I remember.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know on that number, but I know it's been a couple times for sure. Don't eat bats. Just don't eat bats. Just
don't eat bats.
Don't eat bats. Wash your fucking hands.
Yep.
Now they're saying no handshakes either. Fauci came out and said that we should no longer handshake.
Our bank had a commercial on the radio. Or no, it was an email they sent out. Don't feel disrespected that we don't shake your hand.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's some older gentlemen.
I'm sure.
That expected, you go into the bank, and it's right now it's by appointment only. You have to call and get an appointment. They'll unlock the door. Doors are locked. You come at your appointment time, knock on the door. They'll unlock the door, and you can go in the bank and talk to your personal banker or loan officer or whatever you need to do. And they're like, don't feel dejected or whatever because we don't shake your hand.
I think it's all
I hope you wouldn't.
I haven't heard anything about the banks having any lobby time open other than drive-thrus. I don't know if that's state or
ours is only. I mean, they have to. It's just like the nursing homes. Certain people, the nursing homes are closed, but certain people have to get into the nursing homes. If you have to have something signed by your whoever your power of attorney or your attorney or whatever, they need to be able to get into the. It's just like you can hear our bank, which is a locally owned bank. It's not a big national bank.
Sure.
It's a small town, locally owned bank, like in the old days. You can call if you have to get in there and talk to they will try to do as much crap over the phone as possible.
Right.
Obviously. But if you need to get in there and sign paperwork or whatever, and there's also an insurance agent part in there, and there's some other things that they also have. If you have to get in there and actually sign the stuff, they will let you have to make an appointment, and you have to knock on the door, and they will come and open the door for you. And you can go in, do your business, and get the hell out. No shaking hands. So.
Crazy time.
But, yeah, it's absolutely insane. It's bizarre. I can't imagine what we'd do if we didn't have power.
Oh, God.
Didn't have water. I would have to rearrange my idea of prepping more if that was the case. So
I'm going fucking crazy here, and I've got power and water and electricity and everything. You know, nothing's really changed in that aspect other than I can't leave my. Well, I can, but I haven't left my property.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine power being out this long. I mean, what's this been? 4 weeks we've been on it here. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like my sleep schedule's all screwed up now. I mean that like sincerely because like you're just like sitting around all day and you're not exerting tons of energy and.
Oh yeah, take a nap.
Yeah, take a nap, fall asleep watching TV. I was up till like 3:30 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning last night.
Yeah, it's eating, the weight gain, either from boredom eating or else stress eating.
Or both.
Even though it's nothing physically stressful for us, it's emotionally stressful. Because you're worried about your money and you're worried about family members who might get sick or
kids
whatever.
Graduations and yeah.
Yeah. So you're stress eating and your boredom eating, and it's. And again, I said it last update, or I said it in the observation one, or whatever. My prep food has gone from 6 months to 9 months, and now I think we're easily at probably a year's worth of food because we are not touching. We're not going to put a dent in it.
I haven't had any more prep food yet.
Yeah. Well, our prep food is just our food.
No, I haven't had any.
It's our everyday food, and we're eating regular meals.
Yeah.
But have not. No, yeah. Granted, we're using eggs.
Eggs and milk, yeah.
Eggs and milk, and some bread. I bought, but not that much bread. But yeah, we're using that stuff, and obviously, and we have a lot of eggs on hand anyway, most of the time because my wife's baking. But yeah, the other stuff, barely even touching it. I think in the last month and a half, I've used 2 jars of ragu, spaghetti sauce, and like 1 can of Rotel, and a couple cans of corn and green beans, and and we're still making food and we're still eating.
Yeah.
It's just the amount that we have compared to what I thought we'd be using is it's totally bizarre. So yeah, I think we could easily have a year's worth of food here at the rate that we're still. And my wife's still doing her exercising. My son he joined the National Guard and he's got to go off to basic this summer. So hopefully.
I wonder what's going on with that. Actually, I never even thought about that.
He hasn't heard anything. He hasn't gone to drill yet. There was supposed to be a drill, but then they didn't have it because they're not supposed to gather.
Yeah.
And then he was supposed to meet up just with his recruiter and hang out and do some reading, but then he couldn't do that. The recruiter couldn't do it. So he hasn't been. He was supposed to be to drill last week, but he didn't, or 2 weeks ago, or whatever the hell it was. But he didn't go because they didn't have it. And he got an email from his commanding officer saying, "Well, yeah, you don't have to show up." But he's running.
What's happening with Paris Holland and all that right now?
He's running and exercising to get into better. He's not in he's in bad shape. He's 17, but to get in better shape for basic when he gets there. He looked up some of what he's supposed to be able to do before he graduates basic, and he's trying to get to that point already.
Yeah.
And it's just going to improve when he's at basic. So he's out exercising. It's not like we're starving ourselves or anything like that. We're eating normal. Lots of junk food. Yeah. Maybe that's got something to do with it. Maybe we're offsetting our regular food with junk food. But I like my food. It was just that we're not using as much as I thought we would be using.
We're not doing bad. I want to get another freezer. I can tell you that for protein. Fresh protein, not like canned foods. You know what I mean? That's on my list. And again, and I said this the last podcast. I found out the coolest thing, and I never knew it. You can freeze milk. It comes out. It's fine. Yeah. And I've done 1%, 2%.
I still haven't done my experiment.
Yep, it's fine. I'm telling you. So, I'm going to have a whole freezer dedicated to milk. Because I drink a lot of milk. I got to have my cereal in the morning.
I may not do a whole freezer. I may do a shelf in the freezer. Or half a shelf.
Yeah, I did not know that. And I mentioned something to a friend of mine who's been on a podcast here with us before, and he's from up in the Amish country up in Pennsylvania, and he said, "Oh, you didn't know that?" I was like, "Yeah, I had no idea." He's like, "Oh, yeah, we got like 8 of them in there." I'm like, "Oh, well, thanks for fucking telling me."
Yeah, I've had left milk in the car for overnight in the 5 below, and come out in the next day and it's frozen. You're like, fuck, that's screwed up. So then you throw it away.
Nope, it's fine, man.
Not
Just
anymore.
make sure that it fully defrosts. There, you can't have ice in it or anything like that because the fat and it does separate. And just shake it up real good before you crack it open. It's fine.
Yeah. Oh, and make sure you take some out of the gallon.
No, I didn't even do that. I didn't do that.
You didn't even do that? It didn't expand?
Nope. It does, but there's enough room to it. I didn't even do that because I said it to her. She's the one who told me about it, and I'm like, okay. And I'm like, do I need to crack the lid? And she's like, no, just throw it in there. Okay. Huh. Worked fine.
Okay.
God's honest truth. I couldn't believe it.
Be careful with that, though, people.
I've done like 6 gallons now. I've frozen 6 gallons now, and it's not proven because every time I go to the store, I buy 2. You know what I mean? 2 and 2 for the freezer, and then 1 to drink, and then I only have to go to the store every 2.5 weeks or so, and it's been fun.
Yeah, that's
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Anything else major?
I don't know.
Don't
wash
eat
your damn hands.
Wash your hands. Yeah.
Don't gather and have parties. Just, I don't know. Yeah, it's an odd time.
Okay, so I got to bring it up. Where's the roving bands of Mad Max hordes that all these preppers told us we were going to be facing?
I don't know.
I'm kind of disappointed because at least I'd have something to do.
That's why you want the zombies.
That's why I want the fucking zombies. At least I get to shoot things. Jeez.
And now that you found out what was tipping your trash cans over, you can't really shoot
I
it.
can't shoot that either. God. I did scare the shit out of it, though.
Yeah? Has he been back?
No. I have not seen it one single time since then.
So, anyway. Lots of inside stuff on this one. Like usual. It just, I don't know. I'm going to say it for the 57th time now. It's a crazy time. It's just bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. So, it's a good training tool for, I guess, next time.
Oh, God, I don't want it next time. I want it.
So there's not a... Damn it, next time better... I wanted zombies. Next time better be zombies.
Something, Jesus. Give me Negan to fucking deal with or something, Walking Dead.
All I know is I need to get more bacon next time.
Yeah. I can use more bacon.
I went to get bacon today, and they only had the generic Walmart brand, and I'm like, shit,
this stuff sucks.
I don't want the generic Walmart brand. Although it's probably made in the same damn factory as the regular bacon.
Maybe it is, but it's not smoked the same because I've tried it before, and I didn't personally care for it, and I'm kind of a bacon expert.
I buy farmland exclusively, and I think it's the best bacon out there.
Smithfield, just because it's local.
So maybe I'll go to Sam's Club. I buy the 3-pound package there. Maybe
I have not been to Sam's Club here yet. I can't imagine what that place is like.
I can maybe pre-order it.
Sam's Club's in the city, and so is one of the Walmarts. The Walmart that I go to is kind of in the resort area here, so it's less traveled. Maybe that's why they have more shit too, Because ours had everything, except for toilet paper. And I didn't check sanitizers and stuff. I don't know about that, but
I didn't even cover that part. When I was in Walmart today, the stuff was pretty well stocked. Rice and beans were still kind of knocked down, which still gets me because why the fuck do people buy rice and beans? I mean, that's kind of long-term stuff.
Yeah, it lasts. And it stretches a meal. You can cook 3 chicken thighs, throw it in some rice, and it turned in from 1 meal for 2 people into 2 meals for 4 people,
Yeah. The tomato section was fully stocked, as opposed to last time I was there, which was 2 weeks ago, I think, or maybe it was 3 weeks ago. I'm not even sure. The last time it was empty, and this time it was fully stocked. So I grabbed a couple diced tomatoes and a couple tomato pastes, and again, this well, this time the soup section, the chunky soup section, was wiped out. There was maybe only 7-8 partial cases or trays on the shelf. But then I went to a back end cap, the one that was facing
right
the meat department, and it was half full of chunky soup.
Well, ours is so stocked that they had fucking ramen noodles back in stock, which was probably the first thing to go in the whole damn grocery store. You know what I mean? But they had shelf.
Ours had a little bit, not too much, but a little bit.
Ours had them.
But the canned fruit was fully stocked. The canned vegetables were fully stocked. There was a couple sections of the macaroni and cheese section was pretty well fully stocked. The box meals.
Yeah.
Tuna was a little wasted out. Still, there was some toilet paper. Not a whole lot.
Buying that here.
It wasn't the brand we buy, and we have some. I didn't buy any. But yeah, there was still some of the generic shit, 4-pack shit that was on the shelf. The last time I was there, it may have been the same 4-packs that were there before, because I don't know if it's selling.
John Wayne paper.
Yeah. So yeah, it's and of course chips was fully stocked because and bread was fully stocked because that's a daily ordered item that's
usually
manufactured
made local. Yeah,
manufactured locally generally, or at least regionally, and it's ordered by hand by the sales guy that comes in there. So those things are going to be, and pop was full.
Yeah, so
those are always going to be full in this situation until they start running out of things to manufacture their stuff with.
I saw that somebody was saying that's why they're having a problem with toilet paper right now. The manufacturing is going to slow down because they can't get pulp.
Yeah, that could be an issue.
Yeah.
There's a lot of potatoes around here. There's potato barns all over the place. And in the fall, be careful because there's trucks hauling potatoes and potatoes shooting out of trucks all over the place in the fall around here. And we have a friend who manages a potato farm here in the area. I was going to contact him and find out how because there's potatoes in the barns right now, and you can store potatoes long term. And I was going to find out how their levels are, if they're using them up
something's
quicker than normal.
And I'm going to tell you why. We bought there's limits on 2 bags of potatoes at Walmart. 2 weeks ago we bought 2 5-pound bags because that's all they had. I've stored my potatoes in a potato bin for a good long while. Both bags are already rotten.
Huh.
Like rotten. So I don't know if they've been out. Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Well, these in these barns are used exclusively for chips and French fries and hash browns. So I was going to find out from him what if they're running through their supply quicker than normal.
Gotcha.
Because then there could be a shortage later on of this stuff later on. If they're flying through their stuff now, there could be a shortage later on because obviously it's going to take the summer for the potatoes to grow, and just see where they're at with that. So,
you know what the worst thing is I still haven't seen a drop in gasoline prices here because we're so in the sticks that they're not using up what they've had. Like on the other side of the state, it's down around $1.60 a gallon. Here, it's still right at $2. Sucks.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
we're at $1.59.
Yeah, I'm not so lucky.
And usually, the town up the road where the Walmart is usually about 8 to 10 cents cheaper.
Yeah.
And right now they're 2 cents more expensive.
Isn't that crazy?
So yeah, and Fargo is usually a good 10 cents cheaper than that. So they're a good 20 cents cheaper there. And then if you go to Costco, it's another 10 cents cheaper. So I wonder what Costco's going for gas in Fargo is. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having another 10 gallons of gas on storage here.
I've got well over 30.
No, I mean on top of what I already have.
Yeah, I gotta put some old gas in my car and top it off with some good stuff, and refill up my cans. But so yeah, it'd be nice to go do that. It'd be nice to pick up a 500 gallon tank and put it on a stand in my backyard too, but I probably won't be doing that anytime
Yeah, I'd be afraid to have all that together. Good God. Can you imagine if something happened with that?
Maybe someday.
Oh my
Someday
God.
when I have some acreage. So, but yeah, it's 58th time. It's an interesting time. It's totally bizarre.
I never
We're
thought I'd see
expanding
everything
our
shut
garden.
down like this. I really wouldn't. You know, and you just go. I don't know what it was like when you went out, but when we were at the store, it was a really somber, like.
Oh yeah, there was two women talking in one aisle that obviously knew each other.
Right.
Talking about some birthday party or something. But everybody else was just walking and steering clear of each other, and that's what it was. It was they didn't do much of anything. You just kind of look at each other and say excuse me every once in a while, and that was it. So
My other half and I were in this one store, and we kind of got blocked in the aisle on both ends, and these are smaller aisles, so we were like, what do we do? Because we'd have been within a couple feet of somebody. And so I was like, well, let's just slide over all the way as far as we can and let this lady pass. Well, of course, she's like one of them people that apparently didn't give a shit and was like a foot and a half away. And that's where I was joking with you in the other podcast, or maybe it was this one. And she's like, have you ever heard of fucking social distancing? And that lady just laughs, and my other half looks at her, and she's a fiery little thing when she gets upset. And she says, you ain't going to be laughing when you're dying from COVID-19. I'm like, and then I went to as soon when the lockdown was first came on here, I did go to the one grocery store, which is a Food Lion chain, and they had like one of them shared aisles where there's like two registers to one aisle. You know what I mean? And I looked at them and I looked at this lady and I said, "Are you a manager?" And she's like, "Yeah." I said, "Have you heard of social distancing?" I said, "This dude behind me is a foot and a half away from me, and he's sneezing all over the place." You know, I mean, sometimes you just gotta wonder what these people are thinking.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So yeah, I gave my wife my ideas of expanding our garden this week, and she's like, "Okay, let's do it."
Let's do it,
So
yeah.
we're gonna double the size of our garden, and we'll have to order in some dirt and
We had ours
Get that-
disked. Yeah, we got ours
get that
disked.
rolling. And
Our plants are up. All all the seeds that we started are up.
Yeah.
I have to get my direct plant seeds still. Which I mean, I can go to Walmart and get them. Tractor Supply is still open here because that's deemed essential, which is smart because I mean, where are you going to get some of that kind of?
yeah, Noah is evidently buying seeds at Walmart here because of the display was entirely and completely full.
Oh yeah.
I felt like posting on one of the other Facebook groups that these people whining, and what state is it that's blocked?
Connecticut, maybe
Connecticut or
Vermont, Connecticut, something like that.
So, yeah, you can't buy non-essentials. You can still buy stuff online, people. They're like, hey, who wants me to send them seeds? And send them seeds for like 3 times the cost. Because the displays were completely full. I had hit the displays like a month and a half ago. Because I felt that this was going sideways. We'd been talking about it for a month already at that time, and it was one of my last trips I picked up, like a dozen cans of soup and a bunch of like different sides and all that kind of crap, and Dinty board beef stew, and I'm like, I got to go hit the seeds because I want to start some, and who knows when I'm going to get back here. We just didn't know, So I've got those growing now. They've all popped up, and so yeah,
Our
stuff
garden
is going.
this year is going to be the biggest it's ever been. I'll give you I'll have to tell you the footage tomorrow because I haven't actually measured it yet, but it's better than triple what I've done. And I don't know if you've seen pictures of what I've done before, but that was pretty big before.
I don't think I have. So
Well, we got 40 tomato plants going in.
40? Wow.
Yeah.
That'll be. Yeah, we'll probably. How many did I plant? Not most of them won't make it, but I don't even know, 6, 18, 20, 24. I got the little Jiffy
Yeah.
deal,
Mm-hmm.
the expandable little things of peat. Those things are cool. They work pretty well. I like the bigger size ones than the small, tiny ones. The bigger size ones I'm having really good success with. The smaller ones have been a little iffy. It was only a week ago or not even a week ago, 6 to 8, 5 days ago that I started it. But they seem to dry out quicker than the bigger ones.
Yep.
But I planted 24 of those with tomatoes and 3 seeds per.
Well, that's what I do. I put three or four seeds in and then pluck off.
Yeah. And then I'll pick them out, and maybe if they survive, then I'll just give some to. I got family in town, or we got friends in town, and they can put a tomato plant in a bucket, and or hand them out to my neighbors.
My mother has the greenest of green thumbs, and I mean that. She can grow anything, anywhere, anytime. And she used to start her seeds in egg crates.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I personally just go to the Dollar Tree and buy styrofoam cups. Punch 3 holes in the bottom of it for drainage, and then fill them with dirt and start them. And you'd be surprised how big them plants will get before they start starving for nutrients. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
That's how I've always done it. I have a big screen door.
I've kept all of the plants that we purchased from the local greenhouse. I keep the
containers.
little containers. I've taken most of 3/4 of them back, but I keep enough for us to. Once we get a greenhouse and whatnot in the backyard and start doing our own, we'll be able to, I know the greenhouse we go to all the time, they start planting Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Stuff that they end up selling. They plant all their stuff, all their flowers, all their vegetables, everything. They plant it all.
The only thing I don't plant is onions. I don't start stuff like that. We got cauliflower and broccoli, and they're started inside. Beans a direct plant, like corn, obviously direct plant, and cukes and squash.
Yep. I got. I haven't found any potatoes around here. No, I'll have to contact. We have a seed store in town. They also do pet stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if they have starter potatoes or seed potatoes there.
Walmart carries them here anyway.
I didn't do garlic last year.
I don't do anything like that. Yeah.
Don't have that, and then we'll need onion sets, but hopefully.
I've never had luck with carrots. I can't grow a carrot here for nothing.
Neither have I. Our carrots have sucked.
About half the size of your pinky. That's the biggest ones.
Oh, not even that. The size of. Yeah, just this tiny little.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
And I was told, because after the first year that they failed, they were like, "Oh, your soil's not soft enough for them to push down." Well, I'm gonna tell you what. I had that soil like snow. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I have peat.
Yeah. There you go.
It's 2 years old, and I step on it, and my foot sinks like 1.5 inches.
Yeah.
So loose soil is the least of my and granted, I don't know if it's the nutrients aren't good enough in it or what. I really need to test my soil every time I plant something and get it up right. But so yeah, and we have a friend who can grow carrots freaking in her crack in her driveway. It's just unbelievable.
I never had a carrot.
No.
I don't grow potatoes either.
Well,
so.
We kind of veered off the observations and updates
What's
and whatever. New? So, but let's see. The checks are coming out in the next week and a half or so.
Yeah, something like that.
Or deposits if you have a direct deposit to your account. Whatever your state happens to be doing, if you got unemployment or whatever, be kind to everybody. Go back to work. Pay your bills if you can. Again, if you can pay your credit card bill, go ahead and do it. But also, call your credit card company and see if they'll lower the rate.
Yeah.
You can ask them to lower the rate, and they will lower the rate at least once a year. So it's a good thing just to call once a year and ask them to lower your interest rate, and they most likely will if you're in good standing. So that's always. And then what? Guess what? If your monthly thing goes down $5, take that extra $5 and put it someplace else.
Yep.
Or keep paying it. If you're paying minimum, pay that extra $5 and your stuff will go down faster. So financial prepping is number one.
I know I'm changing some things up after this.
Oh yeah. Hopefully we make it through it, and it's gonna be completely different this time next year. If everything is somewhat back to normal, we're gonna be totally different. So, anywho, hopefully, knock on wood. So,
yep.
I guess we'll wrap it up. Take it easy, everybody.
Wash your damn
Do whatever.
hands.
Follow the rules. Wash your hands. No big groups. Stay at home if you have to, or if you can. Go to the store. Be nice. Be nice to the people that work there.
And don't eat bats.
Thank you. You don't have to call them a hero. You don't have to call them a hero. Just say thank you when you walk out. Thanks. God, that hero thing is driving me nuts. But okay, so.
Yep. See you.
Good night.